Welcome to the CMTS 2023. My name is Nick Florio. I am with Festo Canada, and today I will take you for a tour of the Festo booth at the show. Starting with the Festo Simplified Motion series, we wanted to take the simplicity of pneumatic automation and turn it into electric automation. So all of the actuators that you see right here in front of us is using the Festo Simplified Motion series motor with integrated controller, and it is attached to one of the 7 different axes that are available to us. Whether you are looking for an electromechanical cylinder, or you're looking for a ball screw driven gantry type of axis, or a belt driven type of axis, we have the ability to add the SMS Simplified Motion series motor onto those actuators. We take the simplicity of pneumatics, which is generally an actuator, 2 flow controls for speed controls, a directional control valve, as well as 2 proxy switches with a pressure regulator. We take these functionalities, we include it into our SMS series, which means we now send 2 bits of information to the actuators. They return 2 bits back to tell us that they have reached their motion. We can control the speed as well as the force that is being acted by the actuators through the controller itself, which is on board. Should we need more control, more than 2 positions, this is also available to us by going to control over IO link. So with IO link, we can choose an intermediate position as well as change this position within the process. Over here, we are showing the same axes that we had in the previous demo. However, you will notice that the motors that are now running on these axes over here are different. These are not similar to the Simplified Motion series that we had in the previous demo. Over here we are showing that we have stepper motor technology as well as servo motor technology, whereas the SMS series is the entry level above the pneumatics. In this case, we are now going to the next step up, which is full-on stepper control as well as servo controls. If we look at the bottom of the control panel, we can find our Festo CPXE PLC controller, as well as our stepper motor controller CMTS, and on the other side we can find our full-blown servo motor controller CMMT-AS. So over and above the fact that we are able to integrate using SMS series, using stepper technologies and servo motors, from a mechanical perspective, all of the bracketry that's being used in this assembly over here, we have in front of us 2 cantilever 3D axes, each and every single accessory that is joining those axes with each other. In other words, the Z, the Y and the X, all of these are coming from one standard product offering, one standard catalog. What this does is minimizes your design work, which saves you time. When we speak of Festo, we think of pneumatic automation. For example, over here I have the new DGST slide, the DFM actuator, as well as an ADN actuator with DSNU actuators. And we normally will use control valves to move the actuators back and forth in our automation tasks. Generally speaking, what we can also do at Festo is all the feedback that's coming back from these actuators, which are normally from proximity sensors, are coming back to our automation systems using IOs. And in this case, what's made us very popular is the fact that we can have our IOs as well as our valve terminals mixed in one automation island. And which brings me to the new technology with regards to remote IOs from Festo. Should you need remote IOs that are bunched up together with valve terminals, we can do this for you in a modular system, which is called a CPX-AP-A. Or should you need remote IOs that are with one master IO going down to all the remote IOs in the field, we can do these for you as well. Should you decide that you now want a mix and match of both technologies, as in centralized modular system or decentralized systems, we can do a mix and match on both. Effectively, what we are doing is the backplane of the IO is available at the front, and we are able to branch out of the backplane and go and connect with the remote IOs in the field. So to summarize, in terms of actuators, we have access to rotary, to ball screw driven, with slide, belt driven, as well as ball screw driven linear gantry tops, gantry style actuators. And To summarize the actual offering from a control perspective, we have access to the simplified motion series, which is the simplicity of pneumatics but using only electric. Or we can go for a stepper technology, stepper controllers, or we can go for full servo controllers up to a current power availability of 6 kilowatts. And on top of that, integration into all your most popular Ethernet-based protocols in the industry. By this, what do I mean is each one of those controllers over here are what we call the multi-protocol controller, meaning that you keep one part number per controller size. However, the same controller can now communicate with all these protocols that's available in the industry. So now that we have seen the product portfolio, you may ask yourself, well, how do we go about sizing those products? Well, Festo have you covered there as well. So should you want access to sizing or product finder for the Festo Simplified Motion series, we can go to the product finder for it, where one is able to choose application data and be given a solution that will get this job done. Should you want to go and size a single axis system, we are able to go online to our electric motion sizing tool, select the application and start sizing the application as we need it. Should we decide to have a full multi-axis gantry system sized, with our HGO tool, we are able to go and size 3D gantries, for example, where we would input all the data for the application and the software will return us a full gantry system, all the tools, all the accessories, all the bracketing, all the mounting that is required, a ready to install solution at your premises.